Hello students, I hope you are all doing good. So let's discuss about the question answer that I have given in the last class. So in the last class I have given few questions for the home assignment. So let's discuss them. The first question was that whether the milk was homogeneous or heterogeneous or not. Milk is heterogeneous. The second question is, if anyone is having doubt, we will discuss about this. The milk is heterogeneous and how. Now comes to the second question, that is, what is solvent? Solvent is a substances in which solute get dissolved. Solute get dissolved and also present in maximum amount or larger amount in solution. Okay. So what is solvent? Solvent is a substances in which solute get dissolved and also it is present in a larger amount in the solution. Since solution is comprised of two components, that is solute and a solvent, and the solute is what? Solute is a substances in which it get dissolved. Yes, in which it get dissolved in a solvent and also it is present in a lesser amount, and solvent is which is present in a larger amount in a solution, as well as it also help dissolve in which the solute get dissolved. Now comes to the third number question, that is, what is evaporation and where this method is majorly used. The process of converting liquid into vapor is called evaporation. Okay, and this method is majorly used for extracting the common salt that we eat from the sea water. Remember, in the last class video I have shown you one video in which it has told, even I have also told, that this evaporation method is majorly used for extracting the salt from the sea water, the salt that we eat, that we add in our food for day to day, for taste, to make it tasty too. Now comes to the question number 4, that is, what is condensation? The process of converting a vapor into liquid is called a condensation. Evaporation is liquid into vapor and condensation is vapor into liquid, is called, the conversion of a vapor into liquid is called condensation. Now comes to the question number 5. Now comes to the question number 5, that is, why do we need both evaporation and condensation to get the components of the solution? I don't given at what kind of solution. The solution is written, correct the question, that is a solution like salt and water. Components of the solution, that is example salt and water. So if you want to get both salt and water, you want to separate both salt and water and you want to get both the components, salt as well as water, so in this moment we need evaporation and condensation both, because in evaporation the water gets converted into vapor and from there we get what? We get salt, that is solute. We have got solute, but in this process we are not getting water. But in order to get solvent, that is water, if you want to get the water, we need to convert vapor into liquid. We need to convert vapor into liquid by cooling. So, which is this? With the name of this process is what? The converting a vapor into liquid, it is condensation. So see, in order to get the salt and water, we need both the process, evaporation and condensation. The reason is, in evaporation what we get salt, because in the evaporation the water gets converted into liquid and what is left behind? Salt is left behind. But in this process we don't get water. To get the water, we need to convert this water again into a liquid form, convert this water vapor into a liquid form. So in this by cooling it, and this process is known as what? This process is known as condensation. Now comes to the next topic. So before starting any topic, first I want to clarify some doubt that some students had felt, that why milk is a heterogeneous mixture. milk is actually heterogeneous mixture? The reason is because the milk contains what? Milk contains fat and protein. And these fats and proteins are not uniformly distributed throughout the milk. It is not distributed throughout the milk. What I told you in a homogeneous mixture, that the component should be uniformly distributed, equally distributed. Suppose you have taken an example of sugar and water. When you are dissolving a sugar in water, what you see after completely dissolving, you find the sweetness, the variation of the sweetness is equal in each layer. There is no variation. In each layer you find an equal amount of sweetness. So that is homogeneous. But here milk, you will see the fats and proteins are not equally distributed. You will see most of the fats are present at the upper surface and the proteins are present below. The short, you have seen the short, that cream, দুধের মধ্যে যে শর্টটা হয় সেটা কোথায় ভাসে? সেটা দুধের উপরে ভাসে, and that short is a fat. That short is actually fat, and from that fat what we make? From that fat we make butter and ghee. So see, the most of the fats are present at what? Above surface, and the rest protein are present in below. So see, fats and proteins are not equally distributed, and that is the reason we say it as what? Heterogeneous mixture. One more I want to clarify about the miscible liquids. Most of the in the last class test I have seen in most of the students paper, in most of the students answer, that in immiscible liquid they have written a milk is a miscible liquid. Milk is not a miscible liquid. Whenever you are dissolving a milk plus water, they are not actually miscible liquids. Now you will say how? You know, this miscible term, the miscible liquids means what? That liquid dissolving in another liquid, right? The liquid dissolving in another liquid. But after dissolving, the nature should be, the nature of the solution must be what? Homogeneous. So if a liquid dissolving in another liquid and giving us a homogeneous mixture, then only we called it as a miscible liquid. Got it? This is a confusion that most of the student, this is the thing that most of the student had made a mistake, that milk is a miscible liquid, but milk is not a miscible liquid. I must say the milk and the water, they form as emulsion. Then it is not a miscible nor immiscible. It is actually the milk plus water that has been formed, the mixture that has been formed. This mixture is called emulsion, or we can say colloid. Remember the colloidal in heterogeneous mixture? That is emulsion, comes under colloidal. So the liquid dissolving in another liquid, but after dissolving the solution, the mixture that has been formed after dissolving the liquids in liquids, that should be homogeneous. If it is homogeneous, then we call it as a miscible. So what is miscible? The miscible liquids are those liquids which are dissolving in another liquid and giving us a homogeneous mixture. Is called miscible liquids. So we have understood. I hope that you have understood the doubt and regarding this milk as a heterogeneous mixture and milk not being a miscible liquid. Actually milk is what? Milk is emulsion, or we can say colloidal. Milk is emulsion, and that is, or we can say colloidal, which is nothing but a heterogeneous, because heterogeneous has been divided into what? Suspension and colloid, and this colloid is this. Got it? I hope so. next time whenever you're giving an example regarding miscible liquid, don't give milk as an example, because milk after dissolving in water does not give us a homogeneous mixture, give us what? Heterogeneous mixture, and that is why we cannot say it as a miscible. Miscible liquids are those, the liquids, remember the miscible liquids are those that after dissolving into another liquid, giving us a homogeneous mixture, we called it as a miscible. Now let's come to the separation. So now comes to the next method of separation, that is distillation of homogeneous mixture. In the last class you have got an idea what is distillation, that fractional distillation. This fractional distillation and the distillation are quite same. The fractional distillation is used in order to separate different kind of gases like oxygen, nitrogen and hydrogen gases from the air. So in that case we use that fractional distillation. But here here we use the mixture which are in a liquid form. The mixture which are in liquid form, the solution which contains a solute and a solvent, where the solute is solid and solvent is a liquid. So what is this separation? What is this distillation? The process of separating the components of a mixture or a solution based on a different boiling point. If you want to separate the components of the solution, that solution, what components does the solution have? Solute and the solvent. This solute and the solvent both should have a different boiling point. And based on this difference in the boiling point, we separate them. And we use this distillation process. But in together, if you want to ask me what should we call this distillation in a general term or in a easy way, সোজা কথায় যদি আমাকে কেউ জিজ্ঞেস করে যে distillation কে আমি কি বলবো, what should I say? The distillation here distillation where evaporation and condensation work simultaneously. Evaporation and condensation work simultaneously, because when you are evaporating, it is very hard to do the condensation. Okay, but here in a distillation, both evaporation and condensation is done simultaneously with the help of what? With the help of certain apparatus. In a laboratory, with the help of certain apparatus, we can do this evaporation and condensation simultaneously. We can evaporate the liquid, at the same time we can condense the liquid to inert it, and we can collect the liquid over another beaker. So the distillation is the action of purifying of a mixture by the process of heating and cooling. Where heating as well as cooling both occurs together. What happens? Suppose you have taken a salt plus water in here. Okay, the boiling point of the water is what? 100 degree. We all know that at 100 degree water starts boil. But at what point the salt start boiling? Salt start boiling at a 1400 degrees Celsius. See the difference in the boiling point. Since here is the difference in the boiling point, we can use the distillation process. So what we do here, when you switch on the flame, the water start boiling at 100 degree. The water start boiling. When the water start boiling, it started converting into water vapor. Okay, here it is water vapor, and this water vapor here, there is one kind of tunnel over here. This water vapor is to pass through this tunnel. As you can see, pass through this tunnel. Once it is reached over this tunnel, this tunnel is surrounded by a cold reflux. What is this reflux to? This reflux contains a cold water in it. So when water vapor pass through this tunnel, the cold water will cool down the water vapor and convert it into what? Into liquid. And as a result, this water will convert into liquid and started collecting over here. And when all the water will get evaporated and collected over here, the things that will be left behind is salt. See, this is what distillation process, where you can see the evaporation and condensation is occurring simultaneously. That water is evaporating from here, it is passing through a tunnel and it is getting cooled down with the help of the reflux which contains cold water, and by cooling the water vapor is converting into a liquid state and get collected into another container, and the things that left behind is salt. But what is the advantages of distillation? You know, the advantages of the distillation is that not only we can separate the salt plus water, we can also separate the liquid solution. Liquid solution. Suppose if the solute is liquid state, here solute is what state? Solid state, right? But if the solute is in liquid state, suppose the liquid is ethanol, that is ethanol or alcohol, okay, and the solvent is water, it is solute and it is solvent, and you want to separate alcohol from water. So we can even use this process. We can use this process, distillation process, and separate alcohol and water. So this is the major advantages of the distillation over the condensation and evaporation. Now comes to the separation method of the heterogeneous mixture. The heterogeneous mixture, in a heterogeneous mixture, you know that what kind of mixture it is? In a homogeneous mixture, the components were soluble. But what about heterogeneous mixture? In a heterogeneous mixture, the components are not soluble. The components are not soluble, are insoluble. So remember, the major difference between heterogeneous and homogeneous is that the homogeneous, the components were soluble to each other, but in heterogeneous the components were insoluble. Okay, now comes to the how we will separate this. Since it is insoluble, the major method of separation is, there are three methods by which we can separate. That is, first is sedimentation and decantation. Okay, sedimentation and decantation, because another is filtration, and the third one is centrifugation. Sedimentation and decantation or filtration are used to separate if the particles are where the particle size of the components are larger, like sand. You can see the sand, you can see the chalk. So in that process we can use this method, that filtration and sedimentation, for like sand plus water, chalk plus water. But for the centrifugation, which process we use? Which kind of mixture we use? The kind of mixture we use here is a milk. It's a milk or a colloidal type of solution. We use this centrifugation. We will discuss in the next class about this kind of separation, discuss about this separation in details. For till, thank you and have a nice day.